What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video. Today, we're doing the Oakland Raiders, and before we hop into things, I'm gonna address something that I said in my last video. If you guys didn't see that, that was the Giants rebuild, and I made a comment in that one that many people disagreed with, right? I said I wasn't funny. Now, I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but I don't agree with that statement. I think I am funny, and that's not, like, whatever. A ton of people tell me. Like my mom, for example. No, seriously. I don't think I projected all that well in these videos. You guys are telling me differently, but I'm not saying I wish I wasn't funny or I don't think I am at all. So don't get that out. And then for the comedians in the comment section, well, you aren't funny. I hate to break it to you. Sit down for this one. If you don't think that I'm funny at all, I hate to break. You probably already are aware, but you have no sense of humor, clearly. Sorry. Because if everybody else says yes and you're like, I don't really think so, you're being a contrarian to be a contrarian, or you're just a stupid moron. That's a weird way to start the video. We're doing the Oakland Raiders. People are already going to hate me if you're new here. If you are new here, go right ahead. Go right ahead. That's your prerogative. But the Oakland Raiders are undoubtedly one of the worst teams in the NFL. Now, they could be productive in 2019. You never know. That's why they play the games. But on paper, which games are not won and lost on paper, but if they were, in this rebuild they are, that's literally exactly what happens. It's all simulation based. This is a bad team. They are a 76 overall. Honestly, seems pretty good. Could be a little bit lower, but we'll see what we can do with this team. Got a bunch of rookies to show out. Cleveland Ferrell out of Clemson. Josh Jacobs out of Bama. Jonathan Abram out of Mississippi State. They took Trayvon Mullen, another Clemson player, a cornerback later on. The Raiders had a really good draft, and those were just some of the top-end picks that they had. So we have a lot to work with. It's just, can we put the pieces around and actually win in simulation? That's the big question. So if we go ahead and break down the roster here, it's an interesting group. I'm going to tell you right now, I have no interest in Isaiah Crowell. Josh Jacobs will be the starting running back straight from the get-go. The receiving core could be a lot worse. Jordy Nelson retired. JJ Nelson could be a player that I look to just cut right out of the gate. I know he's a newer Oakland Raider. I'm not sure if this current roster has changed his contract situation at all. You guys can download all this in the Madden share. That was one of the huge questions that I got, is how do I use this roster? And the answer is, if you ever want to know how to do anything, just Google it or look it up on YouTube. It's very easy. So do that if you want to know how to do that. Get these players in here. Download these rosters. Jacobs will start. And we got Jalen Richard. Honestly, I'm just going to cut Isaiah Crowell. I'm running the team. I don't care. So Isaiah Crowell is gone. We have Antonio Brown. He's a 99 overall. Should be good for the course of the series. The offensive line is fantastic in general. Kalique Hudson is gone, which is interesting to say the least. But Gabe Jackson now going to take over at left guard in this instance. Rodney Hudson at center. Trent Brown at left tackle. That left side is fine. Colton Miller could be better. I know Trent Brown's going to start at right tackle in real life, and they're going to leave Colton Miller at left. I think I read that somewhere. So actually, we are going to change that. So Colton Miller is going to suck and not progress in this, because that's just what happens in Madden 19. We're going to try to work around that. So I'll make those changes after I stop talking. Luke Wilson at tight end, Lee Smith in there as well. And then on the defensive side of the ball, like, Vontaze Burfict is not someone I want to work with. Neither is Markel Lee. But we have Brandon Marshall, Tahir Whitehead. LaMarcus Joyner is a new free safety. Probably going to play nickel cornerback in real life. So what can we do here? Carl Joseph is going to stay at strong safety. Jonathan Abram is going to move over to free safety. LaMarcus Joyner is going to play cornerback. Okay, we're just trying to figure out everything. We're trying to figure everything out. We will. LaMarcus Joyner absolutely will play that slot cornerback role. He probably already is there. Jonathan Abram? No, it's just not going to happen. It's going to be LaMarcus Joyner. I'll change everything. On the defensive line, I mean, Eddie Vanderdoes is a defensive tackle. I don't really know why he'd be playing right end. Why would he even be listed at right end? Cleveland Ferrell's on here. Benson Mayoa. Nevin Lawson's not someone I want to use at all. But Isaiah Johnson's here. Trayvon Mullen's here. Nevin Lawson can get cut. I'm not going to, but so can Daryl Worley. Daryl Worley's not bad in real life. I don't know. It's a decent team. Jonathan Hankins, Maurice Hurst, PJ Hall, Justin Ellis. Good 4-group of defensive tackle there. Justin Ellis is a defensive tackle. He's, I guess, at right end. Arden Key's probably the guy I want starting. Is Vanderdoes really listed at right end here? Or he's a defensive tackle. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to change all the positions. I'm going to see you guys at the midseason mark. I'm going to load the 2020 NFL draft class. I used Thomas Draft 2020, I believe, which there are worse ones out there. So that's just what we're rocking with. At the midseason mark, doing surprisingly well. The Raiders are 4-2-1. Jonathan Hankins is ready to negotiate. We're off a huge win against the Colts, 22-3. We are atop the AFC West at 4-2-1. Number of upgrades to make across the board. And I don't know. I really didn't expect this to be a playoff caliber team. And per usual, it'll probably all fall apart in the second half of the season. That's just kind of how it goes. You know, however well you do in the first half is going to be the complete opposite in the second half. So we're going to upgrade the team and see if we actually can make the playoffs here in year one. I would be surprised, maybe not shocked, but surprised for sure. Jonathan Hankins is not exactly a high priority free agent to me. I think I'm probably going to wait until the offseason to deal with any of that. So let's go ahead and just buy a player progression package and do that for the defensive backs. I'll see you guys for the playoffs, if we do indeed make them. Shockingly, the Raiders actually have made the playoffs. 9-6-1. The AFC West absolutely fell apart. I don't know what's going on, but the Chiefs did not perform, nor did the Chargers, to be honest. We're going to go ahead and check out the stats. Derek Carr was bottom of the league, nearly 31st in passing yards. Touchdown to interception ratio is nothing spectacular. Rushing, Josh Jacobs was overall pretty well. I performed pretty well, pretty good. 1,200 or so yards, 6 touchdowns, average over 4 yards per carry. Luke Wilson led the team in catches and yards. That's a product of the scheme, obviously. That's what I hate about Madden 19. Is it doesn't matter who you have or what's going on, but the scheme is entirely dependent on who plays well and who does not. So based on whether this is like power run or whatever it is, Antonio Brown catches 53 passes for 700 yards and 6 touchdowns. Could that be what ends up happening this year? Yeah, but I would be shocked if he only has 53 catches. Even if he is bad, he's going to get targeted a lot, well over 100 times. I would be shocked if AB does not have at least 80 catches. Offensive line, per usual in Madden 19, was absolutely terrible. Brandon Marshall led the team in tackles with 128. Tackles for loss, Furl as a rookie had 16. 16 for Arden Key. 15 for Maurice Hurst. 10 for Benson Mayowa. As far as sacks go, we didn't really have any pressure at all. 7.5 for Maurice Hurst from the inside led the team. And then the next highest was 3.5. Again, huge reason of why I hate Madden 19 is it doesn't matter about stats at all. You could have a 99 overall player. If he is not in the appropriate scheme, he's not going to do well. Furl was an 80 overall with like 85 or so finesse moves, and he gets 3.5 sacks while starting every single game. Just a little bit silly, in my opinion. But that is the way she goes sometimes. Touchdowns, Curtis Riley, New York Giant, great with a touchdown. Offensive yards finished in 30th, and then defense 11th. That sounds like a playoff team to me. There's no consistency or rhyme or reason for anything that happens. Simulation engine is so bad. Baker wins MVP of the 15-1 Browns. Do not see any Raiders. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is also Baker Mayfield. No Raiders. Defensive Player of the Year is Joe Schobert. One Raider, Brandon Marshall at number 9. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Baker Mayfield. I will explain something. Okay. I can't explain that. I don't know why Le'Veon Bell is considered a rookie. Whoever made the roster remade him for some reason, which makes no sense to me as to why that might have happened. I really don't even have a guess. But he remade some players. Why? How is Kalique Hudson in here? Anyway, that doesn't matter. But based on the way this class goes, the rookies from the 2019 class, the same as the rookies from 2018. That's just the way the roster works for this to work. So yeah, Baker outbeats some guys who were drafted in 2019, like Josh Jacobs, for example. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Tremaine Edmonds. You got Jonathan Abram in there at number 3. So yes, I know that they weren't in the same class, but they're in the same class here. I'm sure many of you understand it. Many of you are also stupid, so you probably don't. Hopefully you do, though. It's just what I gotta do. Just keep insulting viewers. That's the way to build my channel. We got the Ravens in the wild card here. Let's see if we can advance to the divisional. And we do not. Also, I will mention something, because I sometimes will get in arguments with stupid people in the comment section who are like, oh, force win. Oh, it says home here. Look, home. It's the bye week, you idiot. The rest say none. Every video, there's one. I'm going to stop engaging, because it's hard to win an argument with an idiot. It's impossible, because they don't see reason, because they're stupid people. We're going to go to the offseason. Do I want anyone here? Martavis Bryant, certainly not. Nobody to the right. Jonathan Hankins, 27 years old, 81 overall. I mean, that's not a huge contract, to be fair. It's a great face scan for him, too. Clearly, he is not. He has normal development now. His development trait got decreased. So, I am going to let him walk. Normal is the worst that you can possibly get. So, I am not going to be re-signing anybody. As the 49ers, by the way, beat the Titans in the Super Bowl. Just wanted to point that out. A little bit strange. There aren't any really appealing options in free agency, as doesn't come as a huge surprise, I guess. But I will just go to the NFL draft, the 2020 NFL draft. We should have 2 first-rounders, but I doubt we do, because of the way this draft was made. It's gonna be so weird. How many are we gonna have? We should have 2 based on having the Bears pick, but I don't know if that would be in here. Hold on, let's just pause it and figure that out. Do the Bears have a first-round pick? They probably do. That pick belongs to us from the Khalil Mack trade. I don't know if that would be in the game, in this roster. We're gonna find out. If not, we're just gonna force trade it over somehow. So they do have a first-round pick, number 17 overall. That's not theirs. They don't deserve to have that. So, how do we manage to get that? I'm gonna make whoever our top player is, Antonio Brown. I'm gonna make him Actually, I'm gonna make Rodney. That's not gonna. The trade's not gonna work. I don't know how I'm gonna manage to do this. I'll figure it out. So I'm trading LaMarcus Joyner and Carl Joseph to the Bears for number 17 overall, and I'm just going to change them to punters to decrease their value by a lot, and then get them back, because that's our pick. It's not in the game, so I need to make it happen to make, realistic or whatever I gotta say. All right, I'm trading a 7th round pick for LaMarcus Joyner and Carl Joseph. Just the cost of doing business, so we got him back. We got number 17 overall. It's also like a glitch to trade for whoever you want, because you can just change them to punters. So, a little pro tip there, I guess. All right, here at pick 17, Mekhi Becton out of Louisville goes to the Giants. They finally get a right tackle, I guess. Ooh, Tua Tagovailoa is on the board, as is Jake Fromm, Justin Herbert. The top 3 quarterbacks in this class are all available. Ooh, that's tempting. Here's what I'm going to do, though, right? I'm going to take A.J. Epineza out of Iowa, and I'm going to hope that one of these quarterbacks falls to 21. So I'm going to take the best edge rusher available, that is Epineza, 78 overall, superstar development. I like to see that. And then I'm going to come back, and if Tua's there, if Herbert's there, if Jake Fromm's there, whatever. We'll take one of those guys. Now, for the guys that are like, we don't need a quarterback. We have Derek Carr. You need a quarterback. They're all available still. Just for the sake of how this roster is, I think I'm probably going to take Tua, who's not going to run 4.56. He might run like 4.65. He's not going to run 4.56. We're going to take him Tua Tagovailoa, 82 overall, superstar development. He might be the true number 1 player in this class. It's just so hard to tell with the glitch that pops up as the number 1 player for whoever you take every single time. And that means I got to trade Derek Carr. Question is, what do I want to trade Derek Carr for? A first rounder next year for sure, if I can get it. Who's really bad? The Bengals should be really bad. This is the time to make a trade, too. I'm going to check the standings and see who's really, really bad this year. And hopefully they're bad the next year as well. And that would be the Buffalo Bills. Tough scene with Josh Allen as QB. Will they be really bad again? I bet the Bucs will be. Jeez, records are weird. I'm going to make a trade with the Bucs. Derek Carr to the Buccaneers for at least a first rounder next year. I hope I can do that. They might not think they need a QB, though, is the thing. They don't really need a quarterback. All right, the Dolphins want a QB. I know they have Rosen. I wonder what his overall is here. 75? Yikes. Let's go ahead and trade for a 1, maybe even a 2 next year for Derek Carr. Ooh, we could do something here, though. All right, the trade is going to be Derek Carr and a future 7 in 2020 for a 2020 first-round pick from the Miami Dolphins. Here's hoping they're really, really bad again. So that's a great pick. Let's go ahead and simulate to nearly the end of the second round. See who's still available. See who we can bring in to Las Vegas, I guess, now. Herbert and Fromm still on the board. Jacob Eason's here as well. What do we need? Sam Ellinger's pretty high. We could take a tackle. We really could. I know we have Trent Brown and Colton Miller. Colton Miller, not that good. I don't remember what Navon Donaldson is because I did that in the Giants franchise. Let's go a different direction. Maybe Kalique Hudson. He's kind of like a safety linebacker hybrid. Nice guy, too. Talked to him a little bit on Twitter. Let's go ahead and take him. Kalique Hudson is the second-round pick of the Raiders here. 75 overall, quick development. Not too bad. Obviously, not the #1 overall player in the class. But it's going to keep saying that. What can you do? This name is too tempting. We're just going to call him Benny Potato. Ooh, do I want him? Henry Ruggs III is here. We could always go receiver next year, I guess. Benny Potato, welcome to the team. 74 overall, quick development. #1 in the class. He's at least #1 in my heart. Let's go ahead and advance to the 4th round. This guy has KJ Costello as a 4th round pick. I actually like KJ Costello a lot. I think Costello is going to get a lot of buzz. Obviously, depending on his next season, but he's gotten better every year. He's only going to be a junior this year, so definitely draft eligible. Definitely good. Have to see how he performs. Let's go with Joe Bashi out of Michigan State. I think I took him last rebuild as well, though. Doesn't matter. I'm pretty much done with this draft. It's going to be the 5th round. You really cannot find gems in the created draft class the way you can in the actual game, which, like, it's, like, it is what it is, unfortunately. So a little review of the draft class. We took Epineza with our first pick at number 17 overall, and then backed it up with Tua Tagovailoa, Kalique Hudson, Benny Potato, guys like that. Was that Savion Smith? Couldn't have been. I think Savion Smith was in the 2019 draft class, but you never know. This guy might have had him in there. No, right outside linebacker. Didn't even see that. That's Shaq Smith out of Clemson. And then Michael Onwenu out of Michigan, an offensive guard. And we did need one. So he might start at right guard immediately, actually. He does. That's a problem. But Colton Miller's got to be moved back over to left tackle. I forgot to make that change, even though he would have stayed at right tackle anyway. So it's like he was starting, so that was cool. But I want to have it be what it's like in real life, which is Colton Miller at left tackle, at least for right now. So that's where we are. I'm going to upgrade the team. Antonio Brown is regressing a bit. Tyrell Williams is cool. Ryan Grant is not that great. I think in 2021, we're going to focus on, well, I mean, it depends what free agency's like, but probably linebacker, offensive line, so right guard, and wide receiver. Those are the 3 positions that I think we really need to improve upon. Other than that, I think we're in a pretty good spot. This is the team after the upgrade, of course. Mike Glennon and Nick Mullins, the backups to the rookie Tua Tagovailoa, who I very much hope wins Offensive Rookie of the Year in this. Gabe Jackson, I'm not going to move over to left guard just because he has scheme fit and he's going to start there anyway, which is fine. And then defensively, these are the new overalls. Nothing really crazy. I guess Carl Joseph is up to an 84. That's pretty much it. Other than that, nothing too crazy to report. But let's go ahead and start season number 2. I am going to use my Coach XP on the defensive line, and I will see you guys at the midseason mark. So it is the midseason mark. We are 3-5. Worse than last season. You guys are good at math. You guys know that. Rodney Hudson is an impending free agent. Who else is here? Carl Joseph, Daryl Worley. Worley I'm going to let walk. And I can probably get a better kicker in free agency, so Daniel Carlson I'm not really interested in, although I know he's been pretty solid in real life for the Raiders. Rodney Hudson's absolutely coming back. He's going to start to regress a bit, but that's fine. So is Carl Joseph. So Carl Joseph and Rodney Hudson both return. The rest, again, I'm not too concerned with. The reason that I have no interest in Daryl Worley is purely because of the depth at the cornerback position. When you factor in, you know, LaMarcus Joyner playing cornerback with, not Trayvon Mullen, with Jonathan Abram at free safety, Trayvon Mullen being there, Gary and Conley, obviously, Isaiah Johnson. We just don't really need Daryl Worley at all. We have 3 good cornerbacks, and then Isaiah Johnson's a good 4th. There's just no real reason to offer Worley any type of long-term deal. So that's where I'm sitting on that. Carl Joseph, Jonathan Abram, slowly getting there in terms of overall. We're up to a joint 80 overall, which is cool enough. Not great, but it'll do for right now. Goal is to make the playoffs. I doubt that's going to happen considering our start of the season was, you know, having 5 losses at the midseason mark. We do not make the playoffs, finishing 8-8 as the Broncos killed it, going 1-15. Wow. Please tell me that the Dolphins were terrible. 4-11, pretty good. That should be a top 5 pick. I hope that it is. Le'Veon Bell won MVP with the New York Jets. Tua, not great numbers. I got to change the scheme in a huge way. That was negligence on my part. Power run still prevailing, though. Josh Jacobs had a very good season receiving. AB finally got over 1,000 yards as a Raider. Ryan Grant, 6 touchdowns. Blocking. How'd we do? Doesn't really matter. I don't even know why I bothered. Tackles for loss, 25 for Cleveland for all I saw. Holy cow. In terms of sacks, 7.5 from the rookie Epineza out of Iowa would indeed lead the team. Other stats as well. I did accidentally click circle. Defense. Who had interceptions? Carl Joseph, I see, has 3 here that would lead the team. Defensive touchdowns. Who cares? Yearly awards. Le'Veon Bell is MVP of the 8-8 Jets. Daniel Jones, go Giants. No Raiders in there. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Le'Veon Bell. No Raiders. Defensive Player of the Year is Anthony Hitchens. Tua still has an outside shot to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he does. Beats out Jonathan Taylor, running back for the Chiefs now, and Jerry Jeudy, receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Albert Okwuegbunam in there as well. Bunch of good players in there. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Kalique Hudson. I really forgot that we drafted him. I should have made him start, but he still won it anyway. Incredible scenes here from Las Vegas, maybe? The Chargers would beat the Giants in the Super Bowl 17-14. That certainly would be an interesting one. However, we've got our eyes on different things, and that is free agency with over $50 million to potentially spend. We're trying to get better. Xavier Howard probably doesn't help that, but you know who might is Eric Ebron. That probably is Shaq Thompson, too. I might try to go after both of those players. We're fine at corner. Dak Prescott could be good to create some competition. I can't even say that with a straight face. Let's try to bring in Eric Ebron and Shaq Thompson. I think those are going to be really good players for the team. So we actually got Shaq Thompson and Eric Ebron. Both significant upgrades, bringing our offense up to an 89, defense up to an 85. And we're going to change some things around as well. Kalique Hudson is buried in the depth chart. That is not going to stay that way for long, as he is going to make the transition to right outside linebacker. Should be very, very good in the 4-3. Flying around with speed, the ability to make tackles, and also occasionally come off the edge in the 4-3 multiple scheme. I think I'm probably going to stay in that. I could change. The offense absolutely will change. 100%. I love how Kalique Hudson wins Defensive Rookie of the Year and still doesn't get any XP really at all to make him better. 2 skill points. That's what you get for winning Rookie of the Year. Fantastic. Going into the draft, Still looking up upgrade linebacker. Vontaze Burfict can go. Defensive tackle is still a position that I really want to upgrade upon. And then wide receiver. Got to do better than Ryan Grant in that slot spot. Shouldn't really be too difficult to upgrade him. And then, I mean, really anywhere across the offensive line. Preferably right guard, I would say. Wouldn't mind a tackle either. Wouldn't, Gabe Jackson's just regressing too. So many frustrating things about the regression system in Madden 20 or Madden 19. Hopefully it's different in Madden 20, but only time will tell. It's NFL draft time. This would really be the 2021 NFL draft, and we are picking at number 3 overall, thanks to the ineptitude of the Miami Dolphins, as Patrick Surtain Jr. goes number 1 overall, a cornerback going number 1 overall. Bengals take Caden Stearns, the beast out of Texas, and we are on the clock at number 3. Next pick is at number 14. I'm going Dylan Moses here. Should solve all of our difficulties at linebacker. Sure up that spot. Dylan Moses, welcome to the team. 81 overall, superstar development. Should be able to fly around the speed. Only 79 speed for Dylan Moses? I don't know about that. Good tackle, good block shed though, good strength. He's a solid player. Really like the addition to the team. Another Alabama player at linebacker, wearing number 32. Seems to be their thing. CJ Mosley would be another one of those guys. Let's go ahead and simulate to number 14 though. Hopefully one of the top receivers is on the board. I'll take T. Higgins if he's here, probably. And he is available actually. Ooh. That is tempting. Amon-Ra St. Brown's here as well. He probably would be a better fit based on our personnel. Ooh, I don't know. T. Higgins or Amon-Ra St. Brown? I think Amon-Ra St. Brown, even though he's a freshman last year in real life, was a top 5 receiver in the country. He was electric at USC. He 4.62 speed? What do you mean? What do they give T. Higgins? 4.42? I probably should take him just on that alone. And we're going to. T. Higgins, welcome to the Oakland Raiders. 77 overall star development. Immediate upgrade on Ryan Grant, just, for potential sake alone. Justin Fields is still available. Could we take him and play him at, I don't know, corner? That'd be ridiculous. Alaric Jackson might be the move. Let's take him. 75 overall. He is going to slide into guard, maybe? I don't know. His shoulder pads look ridiculous. Tay Martin finally goes in the 3rd round to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, only a 74 overall. Yeah, these draft classes are not exactly loaded with talent in terms of overall. I talked about defensive tackle. Might as well take a backup here with Justin Madubuike out of Texas A&M. Hasn't seen a whole lot of playing time at A&M so far. Had a number of pretty good defensive tackles in front of him. Dalen Mack, Kingsley Keke, but does have some pretty good potential. I'll have to see how he develops over the next couple of seasons at A&M for the Aggies, as much as I do not like them. Here is our 4th round pick, Jalen Waddle. I would be shocked if Jalen Waddle is available in the 4th round in real life. Shocked. Shocked. In 2021, this is the most electric player in college football. Mark my words. I put out a tweet about it probably a week ago or so. Jalen Waddle has effortless, unbelievable speed, great hands, great tracking, great route running. Jalen Waddle is ridiculous, and I am going to take him. He's only a 72 overall. He only has 89 speed. Wow. Watch a football game. Read a book. It's ridiculous. I'm done with this draft. I'm out of here. Guys, wasting my time with 89 speed on Jalen Waddle. Having him in the 4th round. Unbelievable. Ryan Grant, you're gone. Bye-bye. Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams, T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, Marcel Aitman. What a group of 5. What a group of 5. Ooh, do we have a player from every conference here? Not every, but all different conferences. Marcel Aitman, Big 12 at Oklahoma State. T. Higgins, ACC at Clemson. Jalen Waddle, SEC at Alabama. Antonio Brown, MAC with Central Michigan. Where did Tyrell Williams go to school? I don't remember. What is he? Western Oregon. That's a pretty random conference. I don't know what they're in. Mountain West, maybe? Great Northwest Athletic Conference is Western Oregon, the Wolves. Sorry, I wasn't aware of that. And then Ebron is ACC with UNC. Jackson is going to move to right guard. He will start there immediately. 6'6", 320. Sounds like a guard to me. This is the team for the third season. Offensive line looks all right. Nothing spectacular. The receiving core is certainly coming along. Josh Jacobs, Tua Tagovailoa, the Alabama connection. We have a lot of them. Waddle, Tua, Josh Jacobs. That should show you something about how good Alabama is. Everyone knows that, though, at this point. And hopefully have for a while. Dylan Moses, another Bama player. There are a bunch of really, really good ones. But this is the team. Let's go ahead and simulate. I will see you guys at the midseason mark. I'm not going to load in a 2022 class. I'm not even sure if there is one. I don't know how there would be. Some guys making high school recruits. We just lost 49-30. Broncos are 0-7. They've had better days. We are 4-3-1. We sure do love our ties. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and upgrade this team. We've got a lot of skill points. This team is really starting to come together. We are flying up in terms of overall. AB's down to a 95 overall. That's fine, though. We're in our bye week. We can get a lot better here. Epineza can get up a lot. Dylan Moses can get upgraded a lot. We should be close to a 90 overall, at least with some things. Defense 89. Offense is 87. I thought they'd be closer to 90. Why are we not? I don't know. It's all right, though. Let's go ahead and see if we can somehow manage to make the playoffs. I'm not going to go beyond 4 seasons. This is the third one. So I'd like a playoff appearance. I really would. I think the team's obviously gotten a lot better since the first year when we did make the playoffs, which is odd. We did not make the playoffs. We finished 6-9-1. Nice, dude. All right, Tua had a pretty good season, threw for about 4,500 yards, 28 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs still killing it, being consistent. AB, 90 catches, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. T. Higgins, almost 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns on 58 catches. Crushing it. That's at size and speed. I guess from the slot. I guess he'd be getting a lot of slot reps. Defensively, Shaq Thompson, the new Raider, led the team in tackles for loss. 14 from Epineza, and we're finally getting some pressure on the QB. I changed schemes. 11 sacks for Epineza, 10.5 from Reese Hurst, 9 for Cleveland Ferrell. Interceptions, 3 for Shaq Thompson, 2 for Trayvon Mullen. Also, I know some people are going to want me to call him Ferrell. It's just not how he pronounces it himself. So I looked into that months and months and months ago because I thought it was Cleveland Ferrell for a while. I think everybody did, but it's actually Cleveland Ferrell out of his own mouth. So I'm going to trust him on that in case somebody's pissed about that pronunciation in the comments. Tua, number 8 in Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. No Raiders. Should I check Offensive Rookie of the Year? Probably. Probably should do that. How do we do this? It's been a long time. Trevor Lawrence won it with the Patriots. Patriots got Trevor Lawrence. Okay. Sick. Sick. Dylan Moses at number 6. Can you imagine if the Patriots managed to snag Trevor Lawrence after Tom Brady? Jesus. Falcons beat the Colts 37-31 in Super Bowl 55. We're getting some really interesting matchups down the line here. I actually like it. It's good to see something other than the norm. Gary Conley is an independent free agent. He's somebody I absolutely need to bring back. LaMarcus Joyner, however, I mean, it's so odd, but he is 30. He's regressing. I really don't want to bring him back. Like, I wish I could, because I think he's a good player. Trent Brown's going to be someone I'm forced to bring back. Tyrell Williams is another weird one. I can't bring back LaMarcus Joyner. I just can't do it. I can't. Can I? What is he asking for? 7 a year? 5 a year? Over 1. There just have to be better options. There have to be. Trent Brown, Gary and Conley, both back. Tyrell Williams and LaMarcus Joyner are 2 guys I am unsure about. Because they're just question marks given regression. I just don't know how I can bring these guys back. I really don't think I can. We're going to simulate now to free agency. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing those guys back, but I need to see what else is in free agency. Hopefully a better wide receiver and a better cornerback. Amos cannot play corner. T.Y. Hilton's here. The reason that I would prefer him to Tyrell Williams is just because of pure overall, even though he's a little bit older. He'll regress, but they both are going to. Zay Jones is younger. I'm going to offer on T.Y. Hilton. Another 5'10 receiver to complement Antonio Brown. At corner, I mean, I could go after Vernon Hargreaves just because he's younger. Joyner is getting some looks, but at the end of the year, LaMarcus Joyner is going to be an 81 overall maybe. Vernon Hargreaves could easily be an 84. So I think it's worth offering on him. I was such a huge fan of his at Florida, and injuries and stuff have just really held him back. Been really disappointing to see, because I love Vernon Hargreaves. One of my favorite college players to watch. Really, really good corner. Xavier Rhodes is down to an 81 overall at 31. Wild. Here we are in the draft, picking at number 9 overall. Another top 10 pick. Hopefully this results in actual success down the line. This is the final season. I need to make the playoffs. What position do I need? Cornerback, probably. Or offensive line. Carrick Huggins actually looks like he'd be a tremendous option, given how bad our offensive line is. Henry Sansenbacher, also not bad. Maybe this has to be an offensive lineman. The cornerbacks are overall not great, but Clayton Mickens looks like he's okay in the second, although he will not be available when we pick. I think I'm going to go Carrick Huggins here. Look to improve the offensive line. He's got good top skills, excellent combine, so let's go ahead and draft him. 78 overall, quick development, immediate upgrade on the offensive line. So I guess I like that in the first. Not terrible. It's not an exciting pick because it's an offensive lineman, but it's one that you need to make. Yeah, corner is off the board. No real surprise there. Look at all the quarterbacks available. My goodness. I don't really need a running back, but we could take him as a backup. Seems to be the best option. Could take another defensive tackle. Could take another tackle. Maybe that's the move. Marlon Newton. I mean, we'll see. Maybe he's a gem. Good top 3 skills. Did very, very well on the bench press. Let's test it out. 75 overall star development. Development doesn't matter for offensive linemen at all. Like, offensive linemen don't develop. We needed him to be like an 80 overall already, which would have been, you know, like one hell of a gem, but unfortunately it is not so. Let's go with Demontre Sherman out of Duke. I'm not going to show you guys every pick now because I'll take these guys down here. Demontre Sherman turns out to be a very good one. 77 overall, quick development. I like that a lot. It has good numbers in general. If I have any solid picks in the later rounds like that one, I guess I was only a third rounder, so that's, you know, not a late round. But if I have any good ones down the line from this point on, I will show you. If not, I will see you guys for the start of the 4th and final season. Star development player here in the 4th, and Ross Meeks. He's a linebacker. He'll be a rotational player, which is fine. It's a 4th round. This will be the team for the 4th and final season. 89 offense, 89 defense. T.Y. Hilton is a new addition. Other than that, nobody's really all that new that I can tell. Huggins will start immediately at left guard. Not too bad. And then defensively, who are the new pickups here? Vernon Hargreaves. That's fine. AJ Epinez is up to a 93 overall. Furl at an 88. Maurice Hurst, 89. Though we got a good team. We just got to come out here and win. I'm going to simulate to the midseason mark, show you guys the upgrading of the players, and then we're going to simulate to the postseason playoffs. I very much hope that we make them. No guarantee, though. Would be kind of a damper on the video if we just lost every time, but it's the way she goes sometimes. 4-4. Ugh. We are in a tough spot. Team has been upgraded. Also, I always find it funny when people accuse me of forcing wins. Like, I'll upload it even if I don't make the playoffs. That's the thing. I'll upload it either way. Will I get like 5 more dislikes? Yeah, but also it's a dislike on a video. Who cares? Team overall, again, nothing much has changed, just, a few overall points here and there. 91 offense, 91 defense, now 87 overall. Please, 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 can we make the playoffs? Answer, probably no, but I hope so. And we have not. Finished 7-9. Excellent work. I will show you guys the upgraded final team. As I always say, when something like this happens, I think the Madden Sim is really, really bad, because it doesn't really matter how good the team is usually. Like, a lot of my super teams I've built when I've really gone unrealistic and tried to just build, sick teams, they won't make the playoffs either. Doesn't really seem to matter. Then I'll have a 75 overall team that goes 10-6 or 13-3, So 93 offense, 93 defense. This is the team. These are how some of the players developed. Not too bad in general. I like what the team is. Tua is up to a 93 overall. Defensively, the star was Epineza. Out of the 2019 NFL draft class, Trayvon Mullen up to an 85. Cleveland Ferrell up to an 89. Jonathan Abram up to a 91. And who else did they take? Abram, Ferrell, Mullen, Jacobs is the other one in the first. He's up to an 86. Not too bad. T. Higgins up to an 84. This was a fun one to do. I like the Raiders in real life. They're just bad. I have an affinity towards bad teams, I guess. Yeah, I love the Giants, obviously, but teams that I've liked over the past couple of years to root for and want them to get better, Raiders, Browns. Now the Browns, of course, have. But the Raiders, in this scenario, cannot quite make the playoffs just yet. But that will do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed either way, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.
We'll fake it.